My name is Stefan Vos. I am a musician, a songwriter, and now a composer is added to that list. I was very pleased when Olga got in touch with me and commissioned me to write a piece of music for her Pilates studio. It's not something that I've done before. I've been playing this instrument, the guitar, since I was about 16 years old, which is longer than I care to remember. And I've played primarily in bands over the years, written songs with those bands. And most recently I'm in a duo called the Van Dyke Parks Board, which is a bit of a songwriting showcase. And you can find us on Apple Music and Spotify and all the places. But I was very excited to try my hand at composing an original piece of instrumental music. I started thinking about what that might sound like, and Olga kindly supplied a number of keywords and some pieces of music that could serve as inspiration for the music that we'd write. So I thought from the outset that I didn't want this to be anything that was too thought out. I wanted it to be as painless and as seamless and as natural, and I wanted to avoid overthinking the piece. So I had some basic sketches of 2 or 3 ideas that I quite liked the sound of, that I thought would go nicely, and I booked some time in a studio. I have a friend, Mike Wright, who has his own home studio, Glory Vale in Edenvale, Johannesburg, South Africa, not too far from where I live. And Mike is a bit of a mad genius of a musician. He has in the past played with some very successful South African bands, including a band called Dear Reader that was based in Berlin for a while. I think they're in the US now. And also a very successful South African band called Zebra and Giraffe. And Mike played keyboards and drums in those projects. He now has his own studio and records, and does demos for bands, records for songwriters and singers, and does corporate jingles and so on. So I booked some time there and arrived there on the day with a whole lot of gear, all my guitars in tow, and actually just grabbed a small Yamaha travel guitar, which is a nylon string guitar, just to show Mike my idea. And he said, okay, let's record that straight away. So we kind of got the tempo, the speed for the song just from me showing him the idea of it, and recorded that main rhythm track almost immediately on the nylon string. And then as we were listening back to it, I grabbed my steel string guitar and just started playing a melody using sixths. And that's the little acoustic guitar melody that you hear that plays over the main section. And I came up with some nice little harmonics, a little melody there, a little hook that Mike captured and then edited and found some nice spots to drop that in. Mike also had the idea for a different section later on in the song, maybe in a minor key, so I quickly came up with something that fit around the motif that we'd already captured. And then we kind of laid down some bass. Mike had some nice ideas there, and we feel like we injected a slight African feel with that bass that kind of transformed the track a little bit. Mike then went in to the live drum room and started laying down some drum rhythms, and we had some percussion that we put down as well. Mike's got a bag of obscure instruments and things. He sometimes just drops the bag and records that. Sounds like a typewriter falling down some stairs, but it can be quite musical. And in keeping with not overthinking it and just letting things flow quite naturally, it fell together or came together quite quickly and without too much stress or fuss. There was one section that we tried and that we couldn't quite get sound the way we wanted it, and we belabored it for half an hour or so, and then the suggestion was, well, what if we just took that out completely, which we did, and the song immediately felt like a complete unit. So just in keeping with the feel, the acoustic instruments, the vibe of it, this word had just settled into my mind, the word exhale. And of course, breathing is such an important part of any kind of exercise, any kind of wellness endeavor, and it just felt right to me. We tried to capture something that was at once energetic and vibrant, just like Olga, but also at the same time had a sense of peacefulness and wholeness to it, if you can put those kind of words onto a piece of music. So we're very happy with the outcome. It was a very enjoyable process, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to dip my toe in this world of composition, and I'm very excited and hoping to be doing a lot more of it. So that's the story of the piece of music that you'll be hearing with Olga's Pilates studio. It's called Exhale, and we're happy with it, and we're very happy that we've gotten Olga's approval for it as well. Exhale.